everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the BMD. You're listening to Meet the Band, our new show on Rogers Television Network. I hope you're going to enjoy this episode. We have recording singing artist, member of a band, R&B Fusion Collective, and we're proud to have Marcus Davis on the show. Marcus, what do you say? What do you know?
How's it going? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
Everything's good. Everything's good. Now, tell us a little bit about your background first, because we haven't got all the other members of the band here with us today. Maybe that'll happen at a future date. But tell us about your background to start. Anyways, your heritage, culture.
Okay, well, my heritage. I was born in London, Hammersmith Hospital in the UK. My parents came from the Caribbean. They're part of that generation that migrated to the UK after the Second World War. Had an influx of people from the Caribbean on the Windrush, migrated to the UK in the late 50s, late 40s, early 50s, that sort of thing. So I was born in the UK. I was born in London, raised in Reading, Berkshire. As I got older, I got my dad. I took piano lessons when I was like 11 years old. I didn't like those, so my dad bought me a set of drums. Started playing drums for a little bit. I got bored with that, and I switched to playing the bass guitar. That stuck. So I've been playing the bass. Well, I've been playing the bass, play drums still. I still play keyboards still as well. So that all stuck, and I've been playing ever since.
Did you find that the music came to you naturally, meaning your ability to spin around and learn new and different instruments as part of your arsenal when you're on stage?
Oh, well, I never had any kind of formal music training. I went to the Royal Cardiff College of Music and Drama for music theory. I had a few bass lessons in London, and that's primarily it. So all my skills I've picked up is just by playing in various bands and gigging and touring over the years. That's how it's developed.
So how many years have you been at it, practicing your craft?
Oh, about 40 odd years.
40 odd years. You look like a young guy. You didn't start as a baby.
Nope. I started when I was in my teens.
You look like a young guy, like maybe out of your teens.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Music keeps me young.
Listen, how did the band meet? How did you all get together?
Okay, well, the band itself, originally, I was with a drummer, Latin chap, and we played before in the previous band. He wanted to put a band together, so I knew a few people. I called up the vocalist. I called her up, Grace, and she was right up into it. She was right up for it. The guitarist I met when he was trying to put a band together, a rock band together, with this other drummer. And as I was putting this band together, I decided I might as well have him in the band as well, because he's a great guitar player. And we got in a keyboard player, and we just started rehearsing. And I started getting the gigs, and that's more or less it. And we've been playing ever since.
So you've migrated from London over to Canada. How long have you been here?
I've been in Canada since 1988.
1988. You still have a strong accent.
Well, I've been back a few times, so when I come back to Canada, I still have a strong Cockney accent.
So do you find the minute you get off the plane back in the old country, you can pick up the street slang and the accent instantly? You fall right back in it?
That's the funny thing, because when I went back to the UK the last time, everyone thought I was American. They thought I just from Texas, New York, somewhere, right? And I was in the UK for a good couple of months, and then when I came back to Canada, nobody could understand what I was talking about, because I had this strong Cockney London accent. So it just comes and goes. It just depends. If I'm over in the UK for any specific amount of time, then it comes back and I pick it up, so to speak.
Do you still get homesick for the old country, or that's old news?
Not really. I'm just too acclimatized to the Canadian American lifestyle now. So it's just upbeat. I just can't really think about going back there to live. No, I don't really miss it. No.
So your music genre seems to be R&B funk. I read your bio. Why the selection of that versus heavy metal, country? What was your flavor there?
Oh, because that's the kind of I'm into a lot of genres. Like I like jazz, I like funk, I like R&B, I like reggae. So I figured like when I selected the songs for the set, I just incorporate all those different styles of music, and like all those different styles of music. And I think it's good to be able to play in different genres at the same time.
Who's your heroes?
There's too many to mention. Chick Corea, Stanley Clarke, Billy Cobham, Herbie Hancock, George Duke, Marcus Miller, who else? Jimmy Haslip, Yellow Jackets, Miles Davis, Prince, Commodores, Mint Condition, Genesis, Yes.
Good selection. Good selection. When did you find you had a fascination to dip your toes in the music industry? What caught you? Can you remember the day when you said, I want to do that?
Yes, I do. When I was listening to the radio one Saturday afternoon, teenager, I was listening to the radio and I heard this track by the Commodores called Machine Gun. And that track blew me away. And when I heard that track, that was it. I was just stuck on the music thing in my head, and that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to get into, so to speak.
Are you just doing cover tunes in your act, or are you writing your own music?
I'm always writing my own music as well, and like I'm going to introduce that to the band at some point, because I'm always composing and writing stuff. I brought out a few of my own albums, so to speak. So, yeah, so like we're working on some original stuff as well, just for the band.
So cover tunes, do you cover criteria-wise, like it has to be a top 40 hit, or just a hit that the band likes, or are you the orchestrator?
No, it's not. It's not. The stuff we do right now is not top 40. It's just old school. Like a lot of our stuff in the set, Boz Scaggs, Chaka Khan, who else? Toto, got them in there. Egg the Winter Group, got those in there. London Beat, Stevie Wonder, all that old school stuff. Kool and the Gang, Bill Withers, that kind of stuff.
So the old hits are the ones that turn your crank. Any new music, new artists you like to hear?
What, that's current?
Yes.
Me personally, not really, no. I'm strictly old school.
Old school alone.
Yep.
So how the band's doing? How did the band do during COVID? How did you stay busy? How did you connect and keep pushing forward?
Well, that's the thing. When COVID hit, there was no band. The band came about after COVID, primarily. So we're a very, very new band. We've played about 4 or 5 gigs so far, and they've all been pretty good.
And what about the selection of the other players in the band? Was it just a friend knows a friend, or did you audition people? How did that go?
The keyboard player, I had to put an ad in the online for a keyboard player. But the singer, I knew her from years ago. I knew her for some time. The guitarist, I was in a band with him, with a drummer, so that's how I snagged him. And the same with the drummer, Regis. I got him through an ad in the online music ad.
You're listening to Meet the Band with me, the BMD. I'm coming to you with a music video showcase. Stay tuned.
Keep on lying.
Meet the Band with the BMD. So tell us about the process. You mentioned Regis. Do you have him come down? Does he have to audition for you or in front of the whole band, or you're the leader, or what?
Yeah. I organized an audition. I had a whole bunch of drummers come down, and I had about 4 or 5 drummers come down to audition. And he was one that we selected. He's a good fit for the band, so you know.
So typically, when you run an ad like that on the media outlets, do you get bombarded, or is it 1 or 2, or you get hundreds of people applying?
Well, for the drummer, had a lot of drummers apply. The hard one was the keyboard player. Keyboard players are very, very scarce. That's the hard one, getting a good keyboard player. But we have a good one now, Matthew. He's really good. Young guy, really good. But I didn't see him, get him from an ad. I went to see him at a jam up in Oakville. I saw him play. I just went up to him and say, "You want to be in a band?" He says, "Yeah." That's basically it.
Tell us about one of your worst being on the road situations that happened to the band or yourself personally. Has to be clean. Has to be clean.
Not this band, because the band's still new, so I haven't got any road stories with those guys yet. But I've been playing a long time. I've been playing in a lot of different bands here, Canada, UK, States. When I was in Vancouver, I could tell you a few stories about that. Some good stories. Like I used to play in a band with a gentleman called Baby Harry, guitar player. Baby Harry and his band. We did up in Kootenays, Golden, Revelstoke, those kind of areas. And I had a friend of mine, drummer, Gilberto, Cuban gentleman. And we did a show in BC. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my whole life. Because Gilberto was a very good drummer. And you get in a venue and you have the whole crowd shouting his name after his drum solo. Absolutely incredible experience. I'll never forget it. Took me a whole week to come down from that.
How do you promote yourself? How do the bars and the clubs or venues, how do they know about your band?
Oh, what I do, I go online, look up all the venues in the province, and just send them an email with a couple of video clips.
And how do you find the response? Is everybody right at you, or you gotta push it?
You have to hustle. You have to hustle, right? So some respond, some don't respond. Some say they can't really have our band because it's too big, all this kind of stuff. So you have to constantly be hustling and sending out emails and contacting all these venue owners, so to speak, and just keep at it.
So band-wise, are you staying at the members you have? Or are you thinking of expanding, or are you going to bring in maybe a horn section or something else to spice things up?
Well, if we start getting bigger paying gigs, then I might think about expanding the band. Yeah, definitely probably put in a horn section and probably a second keyboard player just to give more of an orchestrated type of sound, so to speak. But right now, as things are fine.
And how's the band getting along? Everybody getting along and issues?
It's great. There's no issues whatsoever. Everybody gets in there. They're happy. They enjoy what they're doing. And that's the main thing. There's no ego thing, no ego grandstanding, all that kind of stuff. Everybody knows what they got to do. Everybody just comes in, does what they have to do, and they have a good time doing it. And that's, you can't ask more than that.
You're listening to Meet the Band with me, the BMD. I'm coming to you with a music video showcase. Stay tuned. you're back on Meet the Band with the BMD. Folks, you're listening to the BMD on the show Meet the Band on Rogers Television Network, and I'm sitting with my guest, Marcus Davis, who plays on the band, or with the band, R&B Fusion Collective. Now, that's a bit of a mouthful. How did you arrive at that name?
Oh, it just came up.
Well, you must have thrown names around. How did you decide on that?
Well, I just used that name because, like, I just the genres I like. I like R&B music. I like jazz fusion. I like funk, all that kind of stuff. So R&B Fusion Collective, I think, is a very good description of the band. Right? It's we're playing R&B. We're doing a fusion of different types of music: rock, pop, funk, disco, that kind of stuff. And it's a band, it's a collective. So I think it's a very good description of the band. I think it's a very good description of the band.
I like the name. Collective means you're circling.
Yeah.
Everything's consumed there. So futures, where are you going in the future? If you had a crystal ball, where's the band going in the future?
I'll probably do gigs abroad, probably UK, States, where we get bookings. That's where we're going to go, but definitely going abroad. But if we get more gigs in Canada, we'll just play in Canada.
I hear you. So do you change the songs at all on the covers? Let me ask this. Do you change them to make them your own stamp?
I don't change them intentionally, no. Because like on our last gig, we have the basic structure of the song. And then everybody else, they'll do their solos and improvise around it. And we're all very, very competent musicians. So we just, we'll just jam around it and just improvise and extend it and make it something a bit more different. We don't play exactly to the cover tune, the original song. We do our own interpretation, as you said.
That's what I was asking. Yeah,
and yeah, like we did London a week ago. We did "Freak Out" by Chick, and like it's nothing like how the original version is. It's like the guitarist did his thing and the keyboard played, and we did it's more like a jazz improvisation fusion type sort of thing, right? But it was still Chick. Still Freak Out, but we, like I said, the solos and so forth, so we expand it more, make it more,
So what makes a good night where everything goes well? Obviously, there's been some bad night. Nobody's perfect. How do you know when the band's cooking? Is it timing? Is it quality, sound? What the crowd? What is it?
It's definitely the band. Like so far, it's been great. Like there's a great band. All the players are really, really good. So, I'm quite happy, to be honest. And it's just that definitely the band it's a great band. It's tight, it's solid, and when you want to do solos, it's there when it's it just comes out naturally, and it's just a great band. That's all I got to say. It's Lorne, Grace, Regis, Matthew, all great players, very good players.
And do you find what you were getting pay schedule? I don't want you to announce your fees on the show. That's private. I just had a question. Were the fees before COVID better than they are now, or you got to go back, work your way up to that level, meaning money maybe be tight?
Well, before COVID, there was no band, right? So we got together more after the COVID thing, so to speak. So the first couple of gigs, money-wise, wasn't so great, but the last few gigs, it's gone up a lot. So I negotiated a better pay grade, so to speak. And when we get bigger gigs, I'm going to negotiate even bigger pay grade.
How about is fuel, gas prices driving everybody crazy? Let's say normally you get $500. Do you tack on an extra 50 for fuel?
Yeah, I do.
You have to.
Yeah, have to. And I don't take gigs for I don't go below a certain price.
Right.
I have a set price, and it starts from there and it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So anything less than why I negotiate, I just don't. It's not worth it.
Now, do certain clubs work better than other clubs? Meaning, let's say the club's known for AC/DC, Metallica, rock and roll. Do you still book into that if the crowd's a bit different, or you only go to R&B?
It just depends on the venues. I send a whole bunch of emails to a whole bunch of different venues, right? And if they say we're not a good fit for their venue, they'll let me know. They'll say, right? Like I sent off to one venue in Niagara Falls, and he sent a thing back there. They're primarily country, so they just let me know beforehand. So
Gotcha.
it saves everybody wasting each other's time, so to speak. So
Yes. So how long are you going to stay with it? It seems like you're very excited. You're enjoying it.
For as long as it takes.
Is it going to be your retirement?
Definitely. Definitely. Well, I'll be doing this. There's another band I know. They're a really good band. I think they're called LMT Connection. Like the guitarist was like in his 70s, and they're still going. And like if I can get to that stage like that, that's all you can ask for. Right? It's great.
So tell us your favorite song you will never get tired of playing.
Rufus, Sweet Thing.
Rufus, Sweet Thing.
That's my favorite song in the set.
Do you also play Tell Me Something Good?
I'd like to. It just depends on the vocalist if she wants to do it.
So how do you agree on your set music?
Well, I just send a set list out to the band members, email them the set list, and then it just depends. Like usually it depends on Grace because she has to sing them, and like she'll say, "Oh, I don't feel like doing it." Well, how they get sometimes. But it just depends. Like if she likes to do them, then we keep in the set. There's one song, what's the name? Sass Jordan tune, which everybody wanted to do, but she didn't want to do it. She can sing it, but she doesn't want to do it. So I had to leave out the set. So it just all depends. It mainly depends on Grace, the singer.
Gotcha. I ask every artist I interview, I'm going to ask you this. How tough is the music industry?
Tough. The music business, I'll be patient, I'll be honest, it's a pain, right? But a friend of mine told me this years ago. You have to really, really, really love playing to stick it out, right? If you love it, then you'll do whatever you have to do to keep going, right? If you don't, if it's half-hearted, half-assed, don't bother, right? You have to really love what you're doing to stick at it.
We've got a couple of minutes just left. I want to get another comment from you.
Yeah.
What would your tip of the day being for somebody trying to get into the business, trying to be new in the business, make a break?
My tip, practice. Learn all you can about the business side because the music industry now is about 20 minutes playing, 20% playing, 80% business. So definitely know the business, definitely know about negotiating a contract so everybody gets paid and get paid a decent wage, because like I said, it's all about the business now. So the playing's just a small part of it now.
We got less than a minute to go. I want you to announce your social media IDs, how people can connect with you if they've enjoyed our interview, which I'm sure they have. What are your social media IDs?
My website is www.seriousnubian.com. Tells you all the information about the band, about everything. Music, podcast, everything.
Okay, well, listen, it's been great being with you. Folks, you've been listening to Meet the Band, our new episode with recording star Marcus Davis, who he is the representative of this band, R&B Fusion Collective. It is a mouthful, but it's got a nice ring. I hope you've enjoyed the interview. I'm the BMD, and you know what we say, if you're happy, tell a friend. See you next time. Hey folks, the BMD here on my show, Meet the Band. If you or your group would like to be a guest on the show, email us at thebmdpodcast@gmail.com. See you then.